October 24th, 1929. Wall Street trembles. Panic selling begins. But in another timeline, one warning changes everything. What if the Great Depression never happened? What if capitalism never crashed? What if one man's voice could reshape the future of humanity itself? This is the story of a world where greed never met its limits, where corporations became more powerful than countries, where the stock market crash of 1929 never came. Welcome to a timeline where unchecked capitalism didn't just survive, it conquered the stars. To understand this alternate world, we must first know what really happened. September 5th, 1929. Economist Roger Babson stands before the annual National Business Conference. He delivers a chilling prediction. Sooner or later, a crash is coming. The crowd laughs. Disappointed, the newspapers mock him. Wall Street ignores the warning completely. Just 7 weeks later, Black Tuesday arrives. October 29th, 1929. The stock market loses 12% of its value in a single day. 16 million shares are traded. Fortunes vanish in hours. The crash triggers the Great Depression. 25% unemployment. Banks collapse. Breadlines stretch for miles. But the crash also brings reform. President Franklin Roosevelt creates the New Deal. Banking regulations are born. Labor unions gain power. Government steps in to control capitalism. The crash teaches America a lesson. Unchecked greed has consequences. Markets need limits. But what if that lesson was never learned? September 5th, 1929. The same conference. Same warning, but this time, someone listens. President Herbert Hoover receives an urgent telegram that evening. His economic advisors are alarmed. Babson's data is more convincing than they first thought. Mr. President, if he's right, we have weeks, not months. September 15th, 1929. Emergency banking regulations are announced. Margin trading is limited to 50%. Speculative buying is restricted. Wall Street erupts in protest. Government interference. Un-American socialism. But the regulations hold firm. October 29th arrives, the day that should have been Black Tuesday. Instead, the market closes up 2%. The crash never comes. The Great Depression never begins. America's economy continues its roaring 20s boom straight into the roaring 30s. But without economic collapse, there's no wake-up call. No New Deal, no labor protections, no limits on corporate power. By 1935, the stock market has tripled. Corporate profits reach unprecedented heights. But worker wages remain stagnant. The wealth gap becomes a wealth chasm. Standard Oil merges with Shell. U.S. Steel absorbs its competitors. General Electric buys Westinghouse. The age of mega corporations begins. Traditional monopoly laws prove powerless. These new entities are too big, too profitable, too essential to stop. 1945. While our timeline celebrates the end of World War II, this world faces a different reality. Corporate research labs, not government programs, drive innovation. Without wartime urgency, scientific progress follows profit motives. Private companies, not nations, race to unlock the atom. 1952. General Electric achieves nuclear fusion, not for weapons, for power generation. The company patents the technology. Energy becomes a corporate monopoly. 1957. Instead of Sputnik, the world watches Explorer Coca-Cola 1. The first corporate satellite launches from a private facility in Nevada. Space becomes the ultimate business frontier. But progress comes with a price. Company towns evolve into company cities. Ford City, Michigan houses 200,000 employees. Disneyland, California becomes a permanent residence for 50,000 workers. Corporate citizenship replaces national identity. Children attend Pepsi Elementary. Teenagers graduate from IBM High School. Adults work for the same company their entire lives. Loyalty becomes survival. By 1965, the average American owes their housing, healthcare, and education to their employer. Quitting your job means losing everything. Corporate feudalism is born. The wealthy live in gleaming corporate towers. The poor crowd into company barracks. The middle class, it slowly disappears. 1970. The first corporate constitution is written. Amazon territory declares independence from Washington state. The line between company and country begins to blur. Traditional governments struggle to respond. How do you tax a corporation that owns the territory it operates in? 1987. The boardroom revolution begins.
A secret meeting convenes in the Chrysler Building. 5 men control America's destiny.
The CEOs of General Motors, Standard Oil, U.S. Steel, Bell Telephone, and General Electric, they call themselves the Syndicate.
Gentlemen, we have outgrown our government.
The words echo through the mahogany-paneled room.
It's time to make it official.
The corporate wars begin not with bullets, but with bank accounts. Standard Oil cuts energy supplies to federal buildings. Bell Telephone disconnects government communications. U.S. Steel stops selling to the military. Economic siege warfare. President Reagan attempts to intervene. Congress passes emergency antitrust legislation, but enforcement requires cooperation from the very corporations being regulated. 1992. The Seattle incident changes everything. Microsoft Private Security clashes with federal agents. The confrontation is broadcast live on CNN. For the first time, Americans watch corporate soldiers arrest government officials. Public opinion splits down the middle. Half the country supports corporate efficiency. Half demands democratic restoration. America fractures along economic lines. 2001. The last unified presidential election takes place, but corporate territories refuse to participate. Democracy dies not with violence, but with apathy. The federal government retreats to Washington, D.C., a city-state surrounded by corporate nations. The United States of America becomes the United Corporations of America. Traditional wars between countries are replaced by profit wars between companies. Apple Disney battles Google Amazon for control of digital infrastructure. Tesla SpaceX fights ExxonMobil over energy distribution rights. The weapons are economic. The casualties are measured in market share. 2150. Earth is unrecognizable. The morning alarm chimes in Neo-Tokyo Sony. Citizens check their Met credit scores before leaving company housing. A low score means reduced food rations. A high score means premium oxygen access. The sky glows with holographic advertisements that never turn off. Every surface displays corporate messaging. Even dreams are sponsored by Coca-Cola Neuralink. Privacy is a luxury only shareholders can afford. But resistance survives in the frozen depths of Antarctica. The last free humans huddle in underground cities. They call themselves the Disconnected. Above them, corporate fleets prepare for interstellar expansion. Mars Colony Alpha belongs to Musk Dynamics. Europa Station is property of Bezos Interplanetary. Even the stars have price tags. 2200. The first interplanetary corporate war erupts over asteroid mining rights. AI-controlled battleships clash in the void between Mars and Jupiter. Humanity's greatest achievement becomes its greatest tragedy. In our timeline, the Great Depression taught us that unchecked capitalism leads to collapse. But in this world, collapse never came. Instead, capitalism evolved. It grew beyond nations, beyond planets, beyond human control. The question remains, was the pain of 1929 worth the lessons it taught us? Or would we have been better off in a world where the market never learned to fall? The answer may determine not just our economic future, but the future of human freedom itself. In the end, perhaps the greatest crash is the one that never happened. Today, as we watch our own markets rise and fall, as we debate corporate power and government regulation, we might ask ourselves, are we living in the timeline that learned from its mistakes? Or are we still writing the story of what comes next?